Hello there, you guys. Welcome to another one of my live videos, and today I'm just going to be doing the Manchester City versus Chelsea preview on Sunday, 4 o'clock kickoff. As I did update you on my last video, I was going to be doing the Manchester City versus Chelsea preview on Sunday, as I said, 4 o'clock kickoff at the Etihad Stadium. As I couldn't. So as it stands so far, Chelsea are sitting in fourth place at the moment. Obviously, Chelsea are going for the top four this season from their perspective, but obviously, as I did confirm, if we win tomorrow, early kickoff, we do go above Chelsea by a point, because we're currently sitting 2 points behind Chelsea at the moment, as I currently said. But obviously, City obviously going for the league this season. Obviously, Chelsea are going for the top four this season. There's quite a few teams, going for the top four. There's quite a few teams in the title race as well. Liverpool are definitely in it. City are in it. And, and Tottenham are in there with a shout as well. But obviously, they've got Harry Kane and Dele Alli out injured, as I currently said. But obviously, City, Chelsea, you've got to basically, favour Manchester City to win. Obviously, City and Chelsea do face each other again in the Carabao Cup final. I think it's on the 24th of February, because obviously Manchester City beat Burton in the semi-final. They beat them 9-0 at home, beat them 1-0 away, so they did win 10-0 on aggregate. And obviously Chelsea got past Spurs in the semi-final after actually losing the first leg, to Tottenham. But I think Chelsea did win the replay, didn't they? Was it 2-1 or something like that? Chelsea did win the second leg, I should say, as I currently said. But Chelsea are currently sitting in fourth. They do sit 7 points behind Tottenham in third. They are 12 points, behind Liverpool and Manchester City are Chelsea. This season so far, Chelsea have played obviously 25. They've won 15, they've drawn 5, and they've lost 5. I think this season they've scored 45 goals, conceded 23. But Manchester City, as I currently said, now sitting top of the Premier League. As I currently said, they're sitting top of the Premier League. And Manchester City, after beating Everton midweek by 2-0. Laporte had scored in that game. Gabriel Jesus had scored in that game, to wrap the victory up for Manchester City. So obviously they have bounced back, from that defeat. They had to Newcastle the other week. Manchester City, they beat Arsenal, comfortably on Sunday by 3-1. Sergio Aguero, scoring a hat-trick, as I said, and beating Everton comfortably away from home midweek. So City now obviously do go top goal difference, as it has confirmed this season. City have scored 68 goals. They've scored 68 goals. I think they've conceded 20. So defensively, they're quite decent, to be quite honest with you, Man City. And obviously, they've played 26, they've won 20, they've drawn 2, and I think they've lost 4 in the current process of Manchester City, as I currently said. But bit of team news, going into the game, as I currently said. City are likely, to bring Kevin De Bruyne back to the starting 11. They're likely to bring Raheem Sterling back to the starting 11 as well, because they didn't actually play, midweek against Everton, for Manchester City. They've got a few injuries as well. I think Claudio Bravo's a long-term absence for them. Vincent Kompany's out through injury, for Manchester City as well. And I think, Benjamin Mendy has been out for quite a while. I think he's missed the last 3 or 4 games, something like that. But reports coming out saying that he could actually feature in this game on Sunday for Manchester City. I think Chelsea's only long-term absence is Marco Van Ginkel. I think they've also got Mosander out as well of Chelsea, as I currently said. But Manchester City now sitting top at the moment. If Liverpool do beat Bournemouth tomorrow afternoon, Liverpool do go back top. Liverpool are at home to Bournemouth, because Liverpool, to be quite fair, have crumbled in the last couple of games, as I've already updated you on, drawing with West Ham, away from home, drawing with Leicester at home. So, Liverpool, have thrown 4 points away there, as I currently said. So it basically has left the title race, wide open. But in terms of, the experience and that, obviously Manchester City have got a lot more experience than Liverpool in terms of winning the Premier League, because obviously Manchester City have won 3, as I currently said, and obviously Liverpool have not won the Premier League, obviously since it got founded in 1992, 1993. Liverpool have never won the Premier League, and they haven't won it all in all, for like 28 years of Liverpool, and they actually haven't won a major honour, since 2006 in Liverpool. And obviously, they have invested in the last couple of seasons in Liverpool, as I currently said, they've invested in the last couple of seasons. They have got a good squad, because I think they have played good attacking football, this season. They did address the defensive deficiencies with the signing of Virgil van Dijk, and they got the signing. I think Salah and Firmino, Mane, a good attacking trio for them. I think Shaqiri's been very, very impressive for Liverpool as well. So they have invested in the last couple of seasons, but between the differences between Klopp and Pep Guardiola is Klopp doesn't have that winning project or that type of experience, that Pep Guardiola's got, because Pep Guardiola, is one of the best managers in world football now. Obviously, Pep Guardiola, has won a lot of trophies, as a player. He's also won a lot of trophies, as a manager as well. As Pep Guardiola, he did it with Barcelona and did Guardiola as well. And, he has done it with Manchester City as well, because actually City won the League Cup last season as well. They did beat Arsenal in the Carabao Cup final last season. I think it was 3-0, and they did win the Premier League, by 19 points last season as well. So in terms between Klopp and Pep Guardiola, Klopp has obviously got a much more experience, as I said. In relation to Klopp, as I said, he did win a couple of titles, when he was at Borussia Dortmund, but he hasn't really had that much experience, in terms of winning silverware and all that. And he's yet to win out at Liverpool. So obviously the pressure will be on Jurgen Klopp this season. If Liverpool, do not end up winning the league and Manchester City end up winning the league, Klopp could be getting, he could end up getting sacked, could Jurgen Klopp, if Liverpool, do not win the Premier League this season, as I currently said. But I think it's definitely between City, Liverpool, and Tottenham this season, for the league as well. Pep Guardiola's been coming out saying don't rule us or Chelsea out, as I currently said. This is what, Guardiola had currently said. But yeah, City have got the experience, as I said, but Liverpool currently man. But yeah, I think it's going to be a good game, between City and Chelsea, at the Etihad. In the last 24 meetings, between the sides, in all competitions, Manchester City have won 13. There's been 3 draws, and Chelsea have won 8. The previous meeting earlier on in the season, Chelsea actually beat Manchester City by 2-0 at Stamford Bridge, as that had confirmed. But City have got a really good home record, to be quite honest with you. Manchester City, have got a good home record. They've beaten us there this season. They beat Liverpool the other week there as well. They beat Arsenal comfortably on Sunday as well. So, they're really good at home, Manchester City. So, basically, it will be a difficult match for Chelsea, as I currently said. But Chelsea, on the day, are capable, of getting a result against Manchester City. City so far this season have obviously beat them twice. City so far, I think they haven't beat them twice. They beat them in the Community Shield at the start of the season. I think Manchester City did beat Chelsea by 2-0 in the Community Shield, as I said. But obviously, from a Chelsea perspective, they got back to winning ways, against Huddersfield. They got back to winning ways against Huddersfield at the weekend. Did Chelsea, as I currently said, beating Huddersfield by 5-0 after suffering a terrible defeat, to Bournemouth, because obviously they lost to Bournemouth by 4-0. And obviously that was Chelsea's heaviest defeat, for what over 2 decades, for like 23 years, as I currently said. But against Huddersfield, they won by 5-0. In that game, Higuain scored twice. Eden Hazard also scored twice in that game. So they did get back to winning ways. But has been hearing in relation to Chelsea that there has been reports coming out in the last week or so that have been currently hearing that Sarri is currently under pressure. And reports have been coming out. This is coming from Roman Abramovich as well, which is obviously currently the Chelsea owner, and he's actually come out and suggested out if Chelsea do fail for the top four this season, and obviously they don't get Champions League for next season. Chelsea, reports are saying that Sarri could be sacked reportedly, but we know Chelsea are known for sacking managers, because Chelsea, have sacked a lot of managers, in a short period of time, as we all currently know. They did it with Conte, even though Conte won the league and FA Cup, in his first season with Chelsea. We've seen that happen. Obviously they sacked Mourinho, they sacked Scarali, they sacked Avram Grant, the sacked Villas-Boas did Chelsea. So they have sacked quite a lot of managers in a short period of time of Chelsea, as we all currently know. But as I said, it's only Sarri's first season with Chelsea, don't forget. They did have an okay January transfer window. They did get Gonzalo Higuain in, which, to be quite honest, I think he's going to do very well for Chelsea. I think he's going to guarantee them goals. I think he's going to lead the lines very well for Chelsea, to be quite honest with you. Also, they did confirm the signing of Christian Pulisic, did Chelsea, as we all know. They did confirm the signing of him, but obviously Chelsea agreed a £58 million fee, with Borussia Dortmund. But obviously he's been loaned back to Borussia Dortmund until the end of the season. To be officially, playing for Chelsea next season is Christian Pulisic. From Chelsea's perspective, though, they were disappointed, that they couldn't find an adequate replacement, for Cesc Fabregas. They were disappointed that they couldn't find a replacement for Cesc Fabregas. So obviously Chelsea, obviously going to make plans for the summer of who to bring in, as a replacement for Cesc Fabregas. Obviously, Gary Cahill, could leave in the summer, because there was strong speculation of him leaving throughout the January transfer window as well. Also to, David Luiz, his contract is up in the summer with Chelsea as well, as I said. So his contract is up in the summer. And in relation to Eden Hazard as well, I do want to give you an update in relation to Eden Hazard as well. Reports have been coming out this week in relation to Eden Hazard. I still think his future is still uncertain. I think according to Cesc Fabregas, who's obviously at Monaco now, but according to Cesc Fabregas, he still believes reportedly that Eden Hazard will sign a new deal with Chelsea. But reports have been coming out in relation to Eden Hazard, actually suggesting that Eden Hazard reportedly, I think, is willing to make a transfer admission to Chelsea by telling them he does want to join Real Madrid in the summer, because reports was saying that Eden Hazard had made a current decision on his future, as it did currently confirm in the media. But reports have come out, it actually came out 2 or 3 weeks ago in relation to Hazard that Sarri did actually say that if Eden Hazard does want to leave the club, he can leave the club. But Chelsea have obviously been in negotiations, of trying to get Eden Hazard a new contract at the club, because his current one does end in 2020. And it did say if Chelsea can get in this new contract, they are willing to offer him, £300,000 a week, at Stamford Bridge. But I think from Eden Hazard's perspective, I think he's actually keen on making the move to Real Madrid. Reportedly, Chelsea want around £100 million for Eden Hazard, but reports have been coming out today in relation from the media saying that Real Madrid maybe are convinced that they can get him for lower than £100 million if they are willing to offer one of their players, to get Eden Hazard in the process, maybe Isco or Marco Asensio, it said in the sports review today. But Eden Hazard, as I said, now obviously, recently he wasn't playing really, really well, because obviously before Chelsea, confirmed the signing of Gonzalo Higuain, Eden Hazard, of course, was playing in the false number 9 position, which obviously is not his favourite position, as I said. But obviously now Higuain's come in, Eden Hazard's now on the left-hand side in his favourite position, in the Chelsea team. He actually can, play as an attacking midfielder as well, can Eden Hazard, as I currently said. But I think he could end up making the move to Real Madrid in the summer, Eden Hazard. He has been at Chelsea since 2012, so he has had 7, great years, at Stamford Bridge. He's won everything, of course, apart from the Community Shield. He's scored over 100-odd goals. He's made over 300-odd appearances as Eden Hazard, and I think he's the third best player in the Premier League, behind Salah and Kevin De Bruyne, without a shadow of a doubt, is Eden Hazard. And he's well Premier League proven now, as I currently said, is Eden Hazard. But I still think, he's a very, very good player. But Real Madrid are keen on getting him in the summer, as I said. But I think he intends to move to Real Madrid. I think it did say he's privately made a decision of what he wants to do, what he wants to do. I think he has made a decision on his future, but he hasn't publicly suggested this out to Chelsea, as that has currently confirmed. But yeah, without a doubt, he's definitely Chelsea's best player, and Chelsea know that, and I think a lot of Chelsea fans are convinced, that Hazard, will leave them in the summer, as I said. But Sarri says he wants Eden Hazard, to be happy at Stamford Bridge. But the likes of, you never know in this City-Chelsea game, the likes of Hazard could cause City problems. The likes of Gonzalo Higuain, could cause Manchester City problems as well. And I think Higuain, as I do keep saying, I think is a very, very good signing, for Chelsea's Higuain, in my opinion, because he knows Sarri knows him, as I currently said. So in my opinion, I think Higuain's a very, very good signing for Chelsea. He didn't do so well, when he was at AC Milan. Obviously, Chelsea got him in the January window. Chelsea have got him on a 6-month loan. It will likely, develop him into a further 12 months. Chelsea would have to pay a fee of around 15-16 million, to develop the loan into a further 12 months. Or they do have the option in the summer to make the deal permanent by paying around 30-odd million pounds or something like that. He is age 31, as we all know. But as I did currently say, I think he'll do well. He'll lead the lines. He'll score a goal, because he's a proven prolific goal scorer, and he has proven this, throughout his playing career. He did it with Real Madrid for 6 years. He did it with Napoli, for 3 years as well. Broke the Serie A record. He did it with Juventus in his 2 years there at Juventus as well. So he is a proven prolific goal scorer. And I did say, he's a very, very good signing for Chelsea. And obviously he's fulfilling that number 9. And I think his wages he's receiving is around, £270,000 a week, or something like. Is Gonzalo Higuain. But yeah, I think he'll do very, very well for Chelsea, to be quite honest with you. Wait a minute, I was going to turn my light on. That's better, because it's a bit dark, minute. But as I said, that he could be going to Real Madrid in the summer, but Chelsea do recommend that they want £100 million for Hazard, as I currently said. But obviously Chelsea have identified a replacement for Eden Hazard. We know that they've been interested in Barcelona's Philippe Coutinho. Obviously, my club, Manchester United, have also been interested in Philippe Coutinho as well, because we heard the narrative about it throughout the January transfer window, you know, that obviously he's unsettled at Barcelona. He hasn't been, you know, his surplus to requirements, because obviously Coutinho hasn't been getting the game time, you know, he would have liked at Barcelona, as we all currently know. He's been there just over a year now, as we all know. He's done a year of his contract. He's still, you know, he did sign a long contract, you know, when he signed, you know, at Barcelona, you know, from Liverpool, Philippe Coutinho. But reports have been coming out saying that Chelsea, you know, are identifying, you know, Philippe Coutinho as a good replacement for Eden Hazard, you know, if he does leave in the summer, because Coutinho, you know, can actually play in Eden Hazard's position, because Coutinho, I think he's mainly an attacking mid. He can play on the wing as well, can Coutinho. He can also play as a second striker as well, can Philippe Coutinho. And he is 26, so he is round about the same age as Eden Hazard is Philippe Coutinho as well. But I think it did confirm in the media the other day regarding Philippe Coutinho that reports that the Barcelona president had actually ruled out that the Barcelona president actually said that he's currently not for sale. The Barcelona president did confirm this, so he did say he's not for sale in the summer transfer window. But we know the rumours going on about, you know, throughout the January window that Man United had been in negotiations with Barcelona. Man United had approached his representative. He did say Chelsea had also made contact, you know, for Philippe Coutinho anywhere, but he's not the player Coutinho now, you know, as he was at Liverpool, as I said, because he was a great player at Liverpool, and he hasn't lived up to expectation levels at Barcelona, you know, Philippe Coutinho. But he had 5 great years, you know, when he was at Liverpool. You know, he's well Premier League proven, as I said. 5 fantastic years with Liverpool, you know, were very, very good, scored goals, you know, provided as well, Philippe Coutinho. And obviously, he's the 3rd most expensive player in world football, you know, behind Neymar and Mbappe, because Barcelona did pay, £142 million, you know, Philippe Coutinho. But as I said, when he was a lot younger in his prime, he used to play under Mauricio Pochettino, you know, I think this is when he was on loan at Espanyol, and he actually began his senior career with Inter Milan. Liverpool paid, £8.5 million for him, and he grew and developed and flourished, you know, very, very well at Liverpool. But, you know, he's endured a very, very difficult time, you know, since he's been at Barcelona. You know, as I said, he's, you know, I think in the Barcelona Real Madrid game as well the other day, wasn't it, or the other night, or whenever it was most recent that reportedly he got criticised for his performance in that game as well. But reportedly, Chelsea have identified Philippe Coutinho as a potential replacement for Eden Hazard. Reportedly, they have also been interested in looking at Ivan Rakitic as well, because as I did mention that on one of my videos, was it last week, a couple of weeks ago, Ivan Rakitic also got mentioned in the media as well, because obviously now Barcelona did confirm the signing of Frankie de Jong for Ajax. They got him for £65 million, did Barcelona, as we all know, but he's not going to be officially playing for Barcelona until the new season. Is Frankie de Jong. But reports, the narrative stemmed about this, because obviously it did say when Frankie de Jong officially, you know, plays for Barcelona in the new season, it did say Ivan Rakitic, you know, could find game time hard, and he could be a surplus to requirements at Barcelona, as I couldn't said Ivan Rakitic. But I think his current agent, Ivan Rakitic, has said, basically said he doesn't want to leave the Nou Camp. He said he won't leave Barcelona, and I think from Ivan Rakitic's perspective, he's happy at Barcelona and he doesn't want to leave Barcelona. I think he wants to actually sign, you know, he wants to sign a renewal on his contract, does Ivan Rakitic, but he is age, I think he's age 30 years of age now, is Ivan Rakitic. You know, he has been at Barcelona since 2014 or something like that. So he's won 12, I think he's won about 12 major honours, you know, since he's been at Barcelona. His current deal does end in 2021. He can play as an attacking mid. He can also play as a central mid as well. And it did say, reports were coming out from the Spanish publication, that Chelsea were preparing to make a move for Ivan Rakitic in the summer, you know, to see him obviously as a replacement for Fabregas, as I said. But previously, you know, when he was a lot younger in his prime, he actually began his career with Basel. You know, he had 2 seasons with Basel. I think he had 3.5 years in the Bundesliga with Schalke as well. He had a good couple of years with Sevilla as well, did Ivan Rakitic, as I said. But I don't think he's got any intentions of leaving Barcelona. So basically, you know, Chelsea, you know, have monitored an interest in him as well. But reportedly, they have identified, you know, Philippe Coutinho as a potential replacement for Eden Hazard. You know, if Eden Hazard does go in the summer, as I currently said. And obviously Callum Hudson-Odoi, as I forgot to mention, you know, it's likely he'll probably leave in the summer as well, because obviously throughout the January transfer window, you know, he was heavily linked with a move to Bayern Munich, as we all know. And he actually put a transfer request in, did Callum Hudson-Odoi, because I don't think he started a Premier League game this season for Chelsea. But we know throughout the course of the January transfer window that, you know, Bayern Munich, of course, were heavily linked with him. Bayern Munich, I think, in the process, put around 4 bids in for him. I think Chelsea turned three of these bids down. I think Bayern Munich come up with a new bid of around £35-40 million. It did say Bayern Munich offered him the number 10 shirt, to fulfill, in Germany as well. And, Bayern Munich are looking to get some young players into their team, as we all know, because they've got Arjen Robben that's likely to leave in the summer. And they've got a few other aging up players as well. And Bayern Munich have shown an interest in a few young players, to get in their squad, because obviously they've got quite a few aging up players, as I said. But Callum Hudson-Odoi, from his own perspective, did actually say he wanted to leave Chelsea. He did say he wanted to make the move to Bayern Munich. Chelsea have actually tried convincing him to sign a new contract, but reportedly Callum Hudson-Odoi has reportedly refused this, as it has confirmed. And he's been a Chelsea player, since the age of 8 as Callum Hudson-Odoi, so he's risen up the ranks for years on end. But, as I said, since he's got in the senior team, I think he's yet to feature in the Premier League this season from the start, Callum Hudson-Odoi, as I currently said. But I think Bayern Munich, will go for a move, for Callum Hudson-Odoi in the summer, as I currently said. But yeah, Chelsea will obviously want a replacement for Fabregas in the summer. I still think potentially they probably do need a fullback as well, the Chelsea, as I currently said in the process. But as I did say, yeah, so this is Manchester City versus Chelsea preview, as I currently said. Manchester City, I don't think they made any signings in the January transfer window, because obviously Guardiola spent quite a lot of money. Throughout his managerial career, he's spent over £1 billion as Guardiola. He spent more than half of it has been spent at Manchester City. He spent around 500 odd million pounds, but City have got a lot of class in their team. Chelsea have got good players as well, but Manchester City have got a lot of great players in their team. They've got Aguero, they've got David Silva, they've got Raheem Sterling, Kevin De Bruyne, as I said, one of the best players in the Premier League. But yeah, again, Eden Hazard for Chelsea's one of the best players in the Premier League. But City, have still got obviously injuries to Claudio Bravo. Benjamin Mendy could reportedly return into action for this game as well. Vincent Kompany, obviously their captain, is still out through injury, as that has confirmed. But yeah, obviously, Chelsea could, cause problems, for City with the likes of Higuain and Eden Hazard now, getting put back in his favoured position, as I currently said. But it will be an interesting game, as I said. City have got a really, really good home record, as I said. Easy got past Arsenal on Sunday, winning by 3-1. Beat Everton midweek, as I said. So City now sitting top of the Premier League, and they are looking to win their 4th Premier League title, Manchester City, as I currently said. As I currently said. But Liverpool, if they do, as I said, if they do beat Bournemouth tomorrow, Liverpool do go back top before Manchester City obviously play Chelsea on Sunday. But as I did say, Chelsea did beat them early on in the season at Stamford Bridge. Manchester City beat them in the Community Shield right at the start of the season, as I said. So obviously City will be the favourites, considering that they are at home, and obviously they're going to go on the form as well, as I currently said. But Sarri's reportedly under pressure at Chelsea. Reportedly they have identified Pochettino as a potential candidate if Sarri, does get the sack and Chelsea, do fail, to get the top 4. Obviously Chelsea from their perspective either want to win the Europa League or obviously get into the top 4, to qualify for Champions League. But if they win the Europa League, obviously they automatically go into the Champions League for next season as well, the Chelsea. But reportedly, they have looked at Mauricio Pochettino of Chelsea. My club, Man United, have interested in him. It did say Real Madrid have also been interested in him as well, Pochettino. So reportedly Chelsea may look to hire him in if Sarri does get sacked at the end of the season, reportedly as well. But this was coming from Roman Abramovich saying if Chelsea don't get top 4 and they don't obviously get Champions League qualification for next season, Sarri job could be under serious threat at Chelsea. But it's only his first season. Obviously he hasn't really proved himself. He hasn't won out in terms of silverware, so he's looking to win his first major honour as manager as well as Sarri. He's got a great chance of doing this against Manchester City, obviously, in the Carabao Cup final, which is not long away now, as I currently said. But as I said, obviously there's a few teams going for that top 4. My club are going for it, Man United. Chelsea are going for it. Arsenal are going for it, as I said. And from an Arsenal perspective, obviously they're in the Europa League as well, Arsenal, as I said. They're in the Europa League. So from their perspective, Arsenal will want to win the Europa League, or if not, get into the top 4 and get Champions League, for next season, so they can invest more money into their club, Arsenal, as I currently said. because reports have been coming out this week in relation to Arsenal, as I've been updating you, that it might not be true, but it was a few reports were reported saying that Arsenal reportedly only going to get around £45 million to spend in the summer, reportedly, and this may be mainly due to that obviously their owner Stan Kroenke is obviously not investing any money into their club. He's obviously taking money out of Arsenal. Is Stan Kroenke, as I said, and obviously a lot of Arsenal fans currently want him out. But obviously they've also got players on big contracts as well of Arsenal, as I said. They've got Ozil on £350,000 a week, as I said. Obviously he's failed to adapt himself under Unai Emery this season. Hasn't been getting the game time. Also had a few injury problems as well. And he has been at Arsenal 6 years now. Arsenal paid £42.5 million from Real Madrid. But there were obviously throughout the course of the January transfer window, there was strong speculation of Mesut Ozil leaving. As I said, it did actually say that Inter Milan were interested in him, but a lot of teams can't currently afford his wages he's currently receiving. And it did say right on deadline day that PSG had inquired about getting Mesut Ozil on loan, because obviously PSG have got Neymar out for a long period of time. So from PSG's perspective, they'd seen Ozil as a short-term replacement, but reports were saying that Ozil, turned this down. He wasn't willing to go to Paris Saint-Germain on loan, and he did want to stay at Arsenal reportedly as well. But his future's still uncertain, and he could leave in the summer. Could Mesut Ozil, because reports have been coming out saying now that Arsenal are looking, to sanction Ozil off in the summer, maybe to obviously raise some funds. And as Emery did say back in January, he demanded Ozil to leave, and he wanted to sell Ozil, to some funds. As Emery confirmed, and obviously it did say now that basically, reportedly, Emery is going to withdraw Mesut Ozil from the squad, to force Ozil out of the Arsenal Football Club in the summer, as it did say in the media. And reports have been coming out saying that they're only going to get £45 million to spend in the summer. Obviously, throughout the January transfer window, they're only restricted to making loan signings, so they could only make loan signings transfer window could Arsenal. Obviously, they wanted to get another loan signing, alongside Denis Suarez, but that did fail to materialise. So they did get Denis Suarez. They paid £2 million, I think, for the loan fee, but they do have the option to make the deal permanent in the summer, by paying around, is it £20 million to make the deal permanent in the summer? So if they are only going to get £45 million spent in the summer, that's nearly half of the money gone there if they do decide to make the deal permanent for Denis Suarez in the summer, as I currently said. But I think, they have got players on big contracts. They've got, Aubameyang on 200 odd grand a week, I think 200 odd thousand a week. Mkhitaryan's on about 160 grand a week, Lacazette's on £140,000 a week as well. So they have got, players on big contracts of Arsenal, as I currently said. And obviously, I think they've got restrictions on the wage bill. I think wage bill is the problem. I think the wage structure is currently at breaking point, and they've got restrictions on their wage bill. So I think, obviously, in terms of revenue as well, I think, their revenue has been lowered down as well. I think their incomes are, reduced. I think their income has been reduced. Their revenue has reportedly, been reduced as well. But reports have been coming out saying that Arsenal are only going to get £45 million to spend in the summer, as that did currently confirm. But, a lot of Arsenal fans will be saying if we only get £45 million spent in the summer, obviously Emery should resign. This is what a lot of Arsenal fans, will currently say. But it's only his first season. It's not Emery's fault, because Arsenal were playing good attacking football early on in the season. They were playing really, really well. They went on the 22-match unbeaten run, and I think Aubameyang and Lacazette, have been leading the lines very, very well for them. Scoring goals, for Arsenal, as I said. But obviously, I think Arsenal still need a defender, so they've got to make plans, to get a defender in the summer. They probably, Emery did, identify key areas where he wanted to strengthen up. He wanted a winger. He said he wanted a defender. He's obviously got that versatile midfielder now in Denis Suarez, as I said. But Denis Suarez can actually play on each wing, and he can play centrally as well. And I think, Emery does mainly see, Denis Suarez as a winger, as he did currently confirm. But Arsenal could also see, players leaving the summer as well, because they've got quite a few players, coming to the end of the contracts. Monreal is coming to an end of his contract with Arsenal. Petr Cech also is going to be retiring at the end of the season, obviously, as that's confirmed. They've got Carl Jenkinson, coming to an end of his contracts. That's 3 there. Obviously, Aaron Ramsey's going to Juventus in the summer on a free transfer, and he's going to be the second highest paid player. That's 4 there. Who else? They've got a few others. Denis Suarez as well, if Arsenal don't make the deal permanent. who else? If Danny Welbeck, he's another one. Danny Welbeck. So they have got quite a few players of Arsenal, that are coming to end the deals, and that could actually leave Arsenal in the summer, as I currently said. But as I did say, they have got injury problems of Arsenal. They've got Hector Bellerin now injured. They've obviously got Hector Bellerin now injured. They've got Socrates injured as well, because Shelley's recently been injured, but I think he's recovered now. Who else? They've got Rob Holding injured as well of Arsenal. So they have got quite a few injury problems, to be quite fair. They've had Mkhitaryan recently injured as well. He's another one. So they've had quite a few injury problems, to be quite fair. And that can kill the momentum of your team, when you get quite a few injuries, as I said. And Arsenal have had that, to be quite fair. But obviously from their perspective this season, Arsenal's is getting that top four or win the Europa League, and that's the only thing Arsenal can win this season. But as I said, it's only memories for season. Arsenal have got to give him a bit more time, to invest, to Arsenal in the summer. But obviously they've got an owner, obviously that's taking money out of their club, as he currently said, and that's the major problem. And this is why a lot of Arsenal fans, currently want him out. But obviously Arsene Wenger was there. He served 22 years there, as I currently said, the second longest serving manager in English football, as I said, or in world football, should I say. Just behind Alex Ferguson, because obviously Alex Ferguson served 27 years as manager for Manchester United, my club. Arsene Wenger served 22, and I think 12, 13 years, he did very, very good. But then especially at the last stages of his managerial career, Arsenal wanted Wenger out. And obviously when Wenger left and when Ivan Gazidis also left with him, they left that club in a total state, as I currently said. But Arsenal are aware that they do need signings, in the summer, as they all currently know, because I think players probably will leave Arsenal in the summer. Aaron Ramsey's obviously one of them included, unless they can get new contracts for Monreal and they can get new contracts for Carl Jenkinson, because they're two players there that are coming to the end of the deals. Petr Cech's obviously retiring at the end of the season, as well as that is confirmed. But anyway, this is the main part of this video. This is my Manchester City versus Chelsea preview. My score prediction for this will probably be 2-1 Manchester City. I do favour Manchester City because they're at home, as I said, and the home form's, very, very good indeed. And yeah, I do think Manchester City will win this, but don't totally underestimate Chelsea. Chelsea have still got some good players in there. They've got the likes of Eden Hazard and, Gonzalo Higuain, that could cause Manchester City problems, as I currently said. But I think it'll be tight, but I think City will win the game by 2-1. But as it stands, City have won 20 games this season out of 26. They've drawn 2, lost 4. They've scored 68 goals in the process. Chelsea have played 25, won 15, drawn 5, lost 5. I think they've scored 40-odd goals and conceded 45 goals, and I think they've conceded 23 of Chelsea, as I currently said. So anyway, drop your comments, likes below on the channel, guys. If you do consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon. Thank you.